Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Welcome to the Sydney Opera House. I've always dreamed about saying that without the words, "Can I take your coat?" A couple of things before we start. Turn off your mobile phones. Don't do that thing of turning them to silent so you can still read text messages, because I'll see you. All I see is your little face light up in blue. It's very off-putting. And secondly, very importantly, there will be some swearing in the show. I make no apologies for that. I'm from Scotland, where Tourette's is seen as a gift. If you can conjugate the verb to fuck by the age of 4, you're one of the chosen ones. So welcome to the show. This is the end, the very last gig of a 6-month tour of Australia I've done. 6 months. Hey, thank you. I couldn't have done it without you, yeah? It's been incredible. I've been on tiny little planes to tiny places, tiny airports. You know, there are some airports in Australia that really shouldn't bother with a baggage carousel. Just land, pop the boot, I'll get my bag. I flew into Mount Gambier, right? Just a few weeks ago, it was just me and one other guy on the flight. We still had to wait at the baggage carousel. For 20 minutes. Just like that, come on. I'm sure there was 2 baggage handlers in the back just going, nah, you let one go, right? Let one go. Funny as, mate, funny as. I've been to some pretty shit places, you know, I won't lie to you. I've been to... Because everyone's got an opinion in Australia about where you're off to. If you say I'm off to Byron Bay for the weekend, oh, it's bloody lovely up there, mate. Oh, you bloody love it, mate. Bloody beaches and bloody oceans and bloody sunshine, mate. You won't want a bloody leave, that's for sure. You won't want a bloody leave. But but if you say, for example, I'm off to, I don't know, Double. Oh, good fucking luck, mate. Good fucking luck, you'll fucking need it. And he was right, I did need it. I've stayed in a motel in Double. This is absolutely true. This is how shit it was. Because, you see, at the end of the day, you know, you accept that when you're travelling around regional Australia, you can't stay in a Hilton every night. Not that I would be. I'm still Danny from the block. But how that signified it, I don't know. But sometimes you're just going to have to stay in a motel or whatever. But this motel in Double, this is absolutely true. I went into the room, very sparse room. I just wanted to get a glass of cold water from the tap. And the cold tap wasn't working. So I phoned up reception. I said, the cold tap's not working. I just want to get a glass of cold water. And without a word of a lie, he said, well, fill it with hot water and let it fucking cool. Oh, okay, thank you. Thanks very much. And do you know, on the fourth gig of this tour, it's been quite an eventful tour. The 4th gig of this tour, I fell off the stage, right? Absolutely true. In a place called Ballarat, they've got a huge big theatre in Ballarat and an orchestra pit at the front, which no one told me about. And they put a safety net in the orchestra pit. Now, the drop is 12 feet. For some reason, they put the safety net at 11 feet. Which kind of makes the safety net no fucking good. And the stage is on a slope. It couldn't have been any more dangerous if it had been designed by Al-Qaeda and built by the first 2 little pigs. It was straw, and then there was another one that made his house of stick, and the wind came. Sorry. I had to know, because you have to...
Why would two pigs build a theatre in Ballarat? How would they pick up the straw with a hose? I don't know how.
So this is absolutely true story, and I came out, it was that beginning you've just seen with the stool, there's the bagpipe, and da-da-ba, the pipe, da-da. And the music stopped, lights came on, blinding lights right in my eyes, smoke everywhere, I couldn't see a thing. I just kept on walking. Now, all the people in Ballarat, all the people in the theatre, seeing me getting closer and closer to the edge of the stage, they started going, whoa, whoa. But I'd never been there before. I thought it was some kind of weird Ballarat greeting, right? So I start going, whoa, whoa, indeed. Whoa, 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 and then fucking whoa, right into the... Agony it was. Tore all the ligaments in my right arm. Don't sympathise. My old French teacher used to say to me, Danny boy, if you're looking for sympathy, it's in the dictionary between shit and syphilis. Yeah. There's the one you'll use at work tomorrow morning, right? Oh, the fax machine's broken. Well. But so no, I was this is true. So I'm lying in the net, right? I black out for a few seconds. I'm in a lot of pain. I wake up, and at this point, my stage manager, he's come running onto the stage to see if I'm okay. He's leaning down. He's saying, are you okay? But the lights are still silhouetting him from the back. I just see the figure of a man leaning down. Are you okay? I thought, oh, fuck, I'm in heaven. I wasn't in heaven. I was in Ballarat. And do you know what the amazing thing is? Apparently I'm not the first person to fall off that stage. I'm the fifth. 5 people before me have fallen off that stage, including popular children's TV entertainer Humphrey B. Bear. Do you know him? I didn't know who he was, right? So I came off stage, I'm in agony, I'm sitting down. One of the venue staff came up and said, mate, I saw you fall off the... Nah. He said, you're not the first person, mate. 10 years ago, Humphrey B. Bear did the same thing. So I'm thinking, oh, I don't know who this guy is. Maybe he's a singer or a comedian. So I said, oh, what happened to him? He said, oh, mate, his fucking head came flying off. Are you sure? Yeah, the fucking head all the way up. Well, how is this place allowed to operate? Absolutely true. He came out on the thing in the head and into the net. 800 kids traumatised. Apparently they heard him say his first words that night. I don't think it was the ones they were expecting. But apart from a few near-death experiences, it's been a very intriguing tour. And I've learned an awful lot about Australia on this tour, stuff I didn't know. I've kind of got addicted to those late-night parliamentary sessions, you know the ones? There's constant referencing to Mr. Speaker. Why do they do that? Mr. Speaker, Mr. Speaker, Mr. Speaker, Mr. Speaker, I wonder, Mr. Speaker, if the right honourable member, Mr. Speaker, is it a chance to read the report, Mr. Speaker? Which I have in my hand, Mr. Speaker. The report from the Australian... No, the Australian Prune Growing Association, Mr. Speaker. No question. Mr. Speaker, the report which clearly states that Australian prune production, Mr. Speaker, will decrease by, and I quote, some 20%, Mr. Speaker, some 20%, Mr. Speaker. And all his mates on his side of the house go... What is that? They're not saying anything. I've turned up the TV as loud as it goes. They're just going... The other guy gets up. I haven't had a chance to read the report.
I'd have appreciated it if when he'd put it on my desk, he'd also returned my stapler, Mr. Speaker.
So petty, isn't it? It's great fun, though. Do you know my favourite parliament in the world? If you ever get the chance to see the Italian parliament in session, the Italians have had, I think, 38 governments since the end of the Second World War. And it's no wonder, because it gets very violent, the parliament. One guy will stand up to ask the government a question, right? What does the government plan to do about investment in Italy next year? And the minister will get up, fuck you, fuck investment. Huh? You want to invest? Invest in this, huh? How about I invest in your mother? My mother? I'll kill you. I tell you, I'll kill you. It's a guy being held back, by the way. Not an Italian river dance politician. Oh, yeah. Do you know it's interesting how Italian men are viewed in the rest of the world. When you go to America and here in Australia, Italian men are seen as very romantic men. Seen as, you know, the guys that turn up outside your door, the rose in the mouth, bottle of red wine, hair slicked back, buongiorno. And all you, oh, hello. I don't know if women do that anymore. It's a much missed flirting gesture. But they're not. I went to Italy last year. I was in Rome. And Italian men have the strangest courtship rituals. They're almost quite sleazy. They'll stand outside the fountains, and if a good-looking woman walks by at night, they yes. All the Italian men in my head seem to have evolved from R2-D2. Which is ironic, because when English men are chatting people up, they're more like C-3PO, aren't they? Oh, marvellous, I say. Wonderful idea. Yes, I say. A dance? How wonderful. Us Scots are more like Chewbacca. And that's the women I'm talking about. No, the most romantic men of Europe are the French, for God's sake. They just ooze romance out of every pore. Ah, they love it. When you meet a French couple, ask them how they met. They've always got the most romantic story, you know. If you meet a French couple, when you meet a French couple, you're not that fucking isolated here, are you?
Ah, what will they look like, Danny? Will they come by boat?
When you meet a French couple, ask them how they met. They've always got these wonderful romantic stories. It's like a film script. Yeah. We were both in a small bookshop in the Montmartre region of Paris. We both reached for the same book at the same time. I said, "Oh," she said, "Ah." And our hands touched. I said, "I see you are a fan of Renoir."
She said, "Yes, I am."
I said, "Then have the book. It is your book. You can take it because you have such beautiful eyes and beautiful hair and beautiful body." And she took the book and she walked out of the bookshop. And she turned and she smiled. And she left and I thought, what? Well, I'm crazy. Well, that was the woman of my dreams and now she has gone. What, am I crazy? I must follow the girl, so I ran out of the bookshop. That's how we run in France when we are infatuated. I ran into the street. Her perfume lingered in the air. I could not find her. Où est la femme? I'm screaming. Où est la femme? Je ne sais pas, je ne sais pas. There was a lot of Australian politicians in Paris that day. And I could not find her. I could not find the girl. I'm heartbroken. As opposed to heartbroken, I've broken art. And I go to the train station, I'm going to throw myself in front of the train. And then I see her on the train, pulling away from the station. She is not pulling the train. The train is pulling away, but she is on the train, and I bang on the compartment. I say, j'adore, j'adore. And she sees me, and she runs to the back of the train. And will she make it? And she's a buzz, and she jumps, and I caught her. Something like that. The point is, French couples always have very romantic stories about how they met. English men don't have romantic stories about how they met their wife, do they? I was in a nightclub in Stockport. I fell into her tits and she threw up in my face. Oh, it was champion. Oh, aye. I bought her a bag of chips and shagged her up against factory wall. Oh, aye. Hey, we've been together 20 long years. Oh, aye. But no, I've learned an awful lot about Australia on this visit, to get back to the point. Lots of things, cultural things. Do you know what? And this is absolutely true. I didn't realise until this visit that your national anthem is not Waltzing Matilda. Didn't know. I just found out. It's Advance Australia Fair. Sounds like a mortgage plan. You should have Waltzing Matilda. It's more ballady and Australian. And it makes you think of Australia when you hear that banjo and the once a jolly swag man camped down by the billabong. Oh, it's great. I'm sure it's the second verse you have a problem with, eh? Down came the jumbuck. That's a sheep. Fucking half of you didn't know that. Oh, yeah, of course it is, Mike. Of course it is. Down came the jumbuck to drink from the water hole. It's a lake. Up jumped the swag man and grabbed him with glee. Glee? That's interesting. I've never grabbed a prospective meal with glee before. All I know is in the third verse, he drowns himself. You don't commit suicide if you've only been caught stealing a sheep. Just giving you the facts. No, you should have Waltzing Matilda, though. It's a nicer national anthem. It's more ballady and passionate, and it makes you think of Australia. Or the Scottish national anthem is very passionate. It's the flower of Scotland, and it tells a story of Robert the Bruce's famous victory at the Battle of Bannockburn. Oh, flower of Scotland, when will we see your like again? And it's the only national anthem in the world that makes provision for people with Tourette's, which is also quite nice. In the chorus, and stood against them. Against who? Proud Edward's army, bastards! And send them homeward. Fuck off! To think again. Oh, was that me? Did I do it? That's the thing about Scotland, is that we've always chosen passion and resilience over beauty. And we don't make no apologies for that either, because you look at our national symbol in Scotland, the thistle. It's a weed. You kind of think to yourself, I wonder how we ended up with that. In the great garden centre of national symbols. Why the hell would you choose a weed? The English chose the rose, didn't they? Oh, we'll have the rose. Yeah, the rose. And then the Welsh come up. Hello. I am a Welshman. And I would like for my national emblem a daffodil. We'll have a daffodil. Ho, ho, and off he goes with the daffodil. All the countries arrive, and the Irish turn up, you know. Here we go. Diddly-dee, potatoes. seems to work, you know. The Irish turn up there with the... I don't know what the hell is this? Some sort of mandolin I had you guys with.
I'm a storyteller. And my story must be told.
What would you like as your national symbol?
You know, if the flower you want to know, count the letters down below.
Fuck off. We haven't got time for this, mate.
Okay, we'll have the shamrock. Because the shamrock is rare and mystical like the Irish. A he, a diddle-dee, and off they go into off they go into the mist. But my point is, all the countries got their national symbol. I think the Scots must have arrived right at the end of the day, when everything had gone. You know, how's it going? Oh, Christ, right, what have I got left? Not a lot, eh? Not a lot. What's that prickly, shitty-looking thing, eh? Oh, you don't want that, sir. That's a thistle. It's actually a weed. We were actually about to throw it out. What, free? We'll have the lot, thank you. No, it's a killer, sir. It's horrible. It's causing havoc in the rose garden. The rose garden? Back him up, boys. Yes. Do you know, I read, this is quite an embarrassing aspect of Scottish culture. I read recently that we in Scotland, according to the World Health Organization, or as they're known in Glasgow, who? we now officially in Scotland have the worst diet in the world. In the world. That includes African countries. Countries with no food at all. It's now better to have, and let me get this right, no food at all than Scottish food. Freedom! Gee, I couldn't believe it when I read that. But it kind of reminded me of when I was a kid. Because when I was a kid, if I didn't eat everything on my plate, my mum would always say the same thing. Danny, there are kids in Africa who would give their right arm for what you've left on that plate. I had no idea at the same time African mothers were telling their kids similar stories about us. You know, the kids going, I'm hungry. Well, there are kids in Scotland chewing on a black pudding that would love to be as hungry as you. Do you know a black pudding is essentially a giant scab? It is. People always go weird when I say that. It's true. We have it for breakfast. How hard are we? So that's the Scottish breakfast, is basically everything in the fridge at that time. Anything, bacon, sausage, eggs, beans, chips, burgers, crisps. Don't care. Bring out your dead. We'll have it. Don't care, so long as it's deep fried. It's our way. The breakfast, the Scottish breakfast, is an important message to the rest of the world. It says it doesn't matter what you plan to do to us today. It's not nearly as bad as what we've just done to ourselves. Says a lot about us. You know, you look at the French breakfast. You know, it's a croissant. That's all they have. A tiny croissant. Yeah, I eat a croissant. And then I will have to lie down. Well, because I will be quite full after my little croissant. It's not a breakfast, that's a bit of pastry. We put that on top of a meat pie. Says a lot about the French, though, the old croissant, doesn't it? It says we are flaky and a little bit gay. That is who we are. Look at this. You know, the Spanish just have yogurt and a bit of fruit for breakfast. I suppose you don't want anything too heavy if you're off to bed in a couple of hours, do you? I love the siesta. I wish we'd thought of it. I like the Spanish siesta. We're all tired at that time of the day. I love the fact that the Spanish workforce has got together at some point in history
in the middle of a board meeting. Just one guy's going, "Hey, Sebastian. Are you tired? Are you tired?" "Yes, I am tired, very tired, Franco." "Oh, see. How many people are tired?" "Shall we just go to bed? Let's go to bed." "Ah, yes. 1 hour? Fuck it. 2 hours. We have 2 hours in bed, huh?" Actually, it's just as well we don't have a siesta in Scotland. We'd have to get up and have another one of those breakfasts. We'd be dead by the age of 24. Do you know the Swiss breakfast? That always, the muesli, that's what Swiss have for breakfast. Muesli, that sawdust and raisins that you have you ever tried eating that? It just comes out. Never enough moisture in it. Have you ever tried pouring milk into a bowl of muesli? The milk comes flying back out. It does, doesn't it? It hits that protective dust shield. Fuck that. How typically Swiss is that? Even the milk doesn't want to get involved. Everything stays separate and independent and neutral. The Germans are the most interesting, of course, because the Germans, well, let's not generalize. In Bavaria, in Germany, they have liver for breakfast. Liver for breakfast. How Germanic is that? I have just woken up. My eyes are barely open. Bring me a vital organ. Bring me the filtering gland of a dead beast. And I will eat it. And I'm French now. I'm a German living in France. Lost the accent, but maintained my cultural breakfast identity. In fact, make it a liver croissant. Just a little one, I have to lie down. That'll happen quite a lot in my show. I start in an accent and it just descends into French for no apparent reason. I do it all the time. I was in Edinburgh just before Christmas, and this French couple came up and asked me for directions to Edinburgh Castle. I don't know if you've ever been in a situation. For no reason, I felt the need to reply with a slight French accent. I don't know, in my head I was thinking, oh, this is going to help the guy. He said, do you know the way to the castle? And I went, yes. You have to go down there and you take a rat and you just keep it going. And he said, oh, are you French? Shall we talk French? No. Are you crazy? I'm Scottish. And why are you talking like me and doing this with your hands? I don't know. You started it. You are scaring me. I'm scaring myself. Oh, dear. But anyway, the point is we have the worst diet in the world in Scotland. Fact. And who cares? You know, at the end of the day, these are it makes up who you are, these things. You know, no country can be perfect. You know, I'd rather be known for having a bad diet than be known for some of the pretentious food you get nowadays. You know, I hate all that pretentious bullshit. He says, standing on the stage of the Sydney Opera House. Yes, I tire of pretension. Ah, the hypocrisy. No, but I was in quite a posh restaurant in Sydney the other day, and God, you know, the first thing the waiter did was he went to push in my chair, right? But when I was a kid, that was the beginning of one of the best practical jokes you could play on someone, because you'd go to sit down and you just... So I couldn't get that out of my head. He was going to put my chair in, and I was going, aye. He said, sir, are you going to sit down? Not until you fucking move away, pal. I've seen this before, right? Oh, very well, sir. And then the first question he asked me was, yes, what kind of bread would you like with your meal? I don't know, tip-top? Have you got tip-top? Any of the sliced whites is fine. What kind of bread do you want with you? I mean, what's that supposed to mean? You know, the menu was stupidly over-elaborate. Nowadays, you don't just get a piece of meat, do you? Oh, no. You get the entire CV of the animal. Wild duck. What's a wild duck? Is that going to come with sunglasses and a leather jacket? Yeah, they're lucky they caught me. Are you French? Yes, I'm French. Do you need to ask? The chicken, you know, the chicken on this menu is the one that got me. Because the chicken's a chicken, for God's sake. It was corn-fed, farm-reared breast of chicken. Corn-fed, well, I don't care about its childhood. I'm about to eat it. Corn-fed, farm-reared, good at tennis. It's a fucking chicken. Do you know what I mean? Do you think the chicken knows it's corn-fed? Are they there in the barn, sort of separated? You know, corn-fed chickens on one end, grain-fed chickens on the other, off to KFC. All the corn-fed chickens off to posh restaurant. I do like my corn. Are you French? Yes, we're French. Love a belly full of corn for the corn-fed chicken. And all the, you know, the grain-fed chickens having to watch this. Oh, look at that. God. Oh, bloody grain. It's disgusting. It's like chewing gravel, this shit. God, I'd love a bit of corn. I really would. Just one bit of corn. Look at that guy there with his fancy corn. I think he's French. Look at him there with French. His friend's like, what guy? What guy? What guy? Hey, that guy there. I can't tell you mean you're going that guy, and you're that. 5,000 chickens over there, and you're going that guy, that guy, that guy. What are you talking? I said that guy. Oh, right, I see what you mean. I'll count down, right? I'll go 3, 2, 1, and it'll be that guy, right? So keep your eyes open to the thing. Right, 3, sorry. 2, 1, that guy. What, that guy there? Some of these jokes will go nowhere. The point is, the menu was stupidly over-elaborate, for God's sake, you know. And nothing's ever with anything nowadays. It's too simple, that. Everything's got to be on a bed of, hasn't it? What is this, tired food? Wild duck on a bed of. Couscous. What the fuck is couscous? Hey, where I grew up, couscous is what you milked in the fields. You milked the couscous, Danny? Yes, I have, Mum. Go and stick a duck in their back. So what, you know? The point is, we have the worst diet in the world in Scotland. You know, who cares? There's a lot of Scottish culture I'm not massively proud of, but for every bit of that, there's a lot of Scottish culture I am proud of. I'm very happy to have. Our drinking in Scotland is legendary. In fact, there's only one country in the world that comes close to us in drinking, and I'm fucking looking at it. You lot. Oh, see, you can tell how much a country likes its drinking by its reaction to last orders at the bar. It's true, isn't it? If you go to like a bar in Paris, let's say Paris, I'm going to end up there anyway. And that bell goes for last orders. Ding, 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 right? The reaction is one of mild surprise. Oh. Oh dear, that is last orders. Never mind, we should finish up our drinks. And when we'll go out into the moonlight. We will walk hand in hand. It will be very beautiful. I will kiss you. And it's very polite and civil. Good night, my friend, the barman. Good night, my friend, the customer.
your letter.
Right? That's how they walk in Paris at the end of the night. Like Elvis with cerebral palsy. No, I don't know if that's true. Look. But that's Paris. Here, I tell you what, I was in a pub in Brisbane about 3 weeks ago. The bell went for last orders. You go mental.
Fucking wanker! Fuck off! Fuck off, you wanker! You're a bastard! Bastard, that's what you are! A bastard! It's not even right! Look, I've got 1 fucking minute. What have you got? Fucking wanker!
The guy that rang the bell had to duck straight behind the bar. Ding, ding. I've got children.
Because no one ever wants to go home in Australia.
That's another thing I've learned. I don't want to go home now, mate. I'll remember everything.
And of course, last orders means you don't need to go home. It means you can get one more drinking. But you being Australian, we'll get 2 in, mate.
It's the last one. We might as well make it 2. Fucking right. 2, 2, 2. Watch it. Fuck off. You're having 2. 2, 2, 2. 2, 2, 2, 2, 2. Right.
See, it's quite common to see a man in Australia at the end of the night in a pub with a drink in each hand. Look, got 2, it's fine, you know.
So, sometimes they've got a drink in between the 2 drinks, haven't they? So that.
Yeah. But see, you wouldn't see that in Italy. You wouldn't see a man with a drink in each hand in a bar in Italy. Just too undignified. Well, how would he talk? They always need the one hand. And you know? But not you Australians. It's almost like you've mastered the entire art of conversation in just the wee head bit.
G'day, mate. How's it going? You all right?
John, have you met Barry? 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 John, Barry. It's almost like all Australian men have evolved from grain-fed chickens at some point.
She's all right, isn't she, that one there? Not her, her. What's wrong with you, mate?
Oh, gosh. There's nothing, do you know, there's nothing wrong with that. I like your drinking culture here because it makes me think of back home. There's something nice about being in a pub where there's someone more drunk than you, isn't it? Something quite comforting about that. See, oh, look at that fucking loser there. It's always quite nice. My favourite drinking story from Scotland of late is just before Christmas. I was in a pub in Edinburgh, like an old man's pub, and I went into the men's toilets for a reason. I wasn't just browsing. And all 3 of the urinals were occupied, right? So there was a queue. I say a queue, it was just one old guy in front of me who was very, very drunk, right? And he could barely stand. Now, the guy in the 3rd urinal, he zipped up and went to move away, and he was laughing about something. And I could see what he was laughing about from where I was. Someone had written a bit of graffiti above his urinal on the tile. Express lane only, they'd written. 5 beers or less, right? Not a bad gag. So then I say to the old guy, that's free now, mate. And he went, oh, thank you very much. And he stumbled over to this, absolutely true, stumbled over to this urinal, unzipped, got his thing out, looked up, read this, and went, oh, for fuck's sake! When did that go in? Do you know what I mean? You 2, hurry up! No, I can't. Anyway, yes, let's get back to it. So last orders goes in this bar in Brisbane I was in 3 weeks ago, and this guy, of course, went to the bar to get a round in, and it's a huge big round he got, and the guy said, the thing is, he didn't use a tray or a waitress. Of course not, mate. Not French. And he this huge big round, and he the concentration with which, because first of all he checked where he needed to go, right? I've got to go down here, over there, up on top of that, flop, back, that. Too easy, mate. And the concentration was incredible.
Just, right, let's get you little beauties home. Come on, nice and easy. And it was a very busy bar, so he had to squeeze in between people. But it was like a majestic navigation. Just there, and then... I tell you what it was like. It was like an Australian Tai Chi. And then he got to his table, right? He got to his table, and he put all the drinks down. As soon as they hit the table, quickly lick up the spillages. And all his mates were like, legend! And one of his mates tried to spoil it by saying, mate, sorry to ruin things, but you forgot my crownie. And with the smuggest grin in the world, he went, oh, did I? Let's just say what we got here, So the most horrible moment in a pub is when they throw all the lights up, isn't it? Why do they do that? To signify the actual end of the evening. You've been a good customer, you don't deserve that. All it does is illuminate the full horror of your situation, doesn't it? Lights go up, and you go, fuck, have I been talking to a pool cue for 20 minutes? Why did no one think of telling me? And then someone will suggest going back to theirs for a drink. And that's another option, isn't it? Oh, the night will last forever. It's amazing, isn't it? When people invite you back to theirs at like 1, 2 o'clock in the morning, everyone's got spirits, but no one's ever got any mixer. Or not the mixer that you'd usually have with that spirit. But you become your own cocktail waiter at that time of day. It's amazing how much less discerning we become. You know, 6 hours previously, we were in a wine bar after work saying, glass of white wine, not a Chardonnay. No, I will not drink a Chardonnay. 6 hours later, you're crawling around someone's kitchen. Any concoction will do. Anyone for gin and chocolate milk? Anyone for that? How's that going, yeah? Oh, yeah, I'll give it a go, yeah. Oh, that's quite nice. Yeah, I might drink that next time I'm out. Someone always says that. I might drink that next time I'm out. Like you would, like the next day you're sitting in the pub and, right, 8 beers, is it, lads? Actually, I'll have a gin and chocolate milk, please, Barry. It's all good fun, though. Do you know the only thing that probably differs between us and you lot when it comes to drinking culture is the hangover. The hangover is a unique Scottish thing. You know, you don't get an Italian man waking up, oh, I feel like shit. What happened last night? I remember nothing. Why is there kebab meat all over my bed? I don't know. And you lot, this is the difference. You see, you lot kind of fight the hangover a wee bit. You know, you go, oh, fuck, I feel like shit. Right, I'm going to have a smoothie, then go out for a run. Coming for a run, Danny? Why? Are we being chased? What possible reason could you have to go for a run? You've got a hangover, man. Take the punishment. That's what we do in Scotland. We accept the hangover. It's like an old friend coming to visit. We wake up, kick our shoes off. The light flooding in from the television. Oh, shit. And there's always a moment of denial. I only had a drink. Can I have 2? Maybe 2 or 3, but no more than that. Chocolate milk? When was I drinking chocolate milk? I don't remember drinking chocolate milk. And then you know you've got to get up, and it's always done very gingerly. You get up, and you just like to just crawl, you see, because you like to feel the earth beneath you. And you crawl out the bedroom into the kitchen, rise up slowly, open the fridge door, and cook everything in it. And the cycle of our day starts all over again. And it's a great way to live, and I wouldn't change it for the world. And there's an awful lot of Scottish culture I wouldn't change. And do you know, here's another thing that I'm really proud of about Scotland. No dangerous animals.
None at all. There's nothing there that's going to give you any problems whatsoever. Because here, I've been here for 6 months, remember, traveling around the middle of Australia. I've woke up some mornings, you have to brush turtles off your face and fucking kick kangaroos out your bed. And they all look at you as if to say, not so friendly in the morning, are we, Danny? Chocolate milk. But it's weird that we don't have anything like that in Scotland. It's almost like when Noah was traveling around the world in his ark, if you believe that story. It's almost like he never went back to Scotland for the drop-off. or possibly never went there in the first place. If you think about Noah's message, it wouldn't have been greatly received in Scotland, would it, eh? Noah turning up, "Hello, Scotland, I am Noah." "All right, Noah, how's it going?" "Yes, good." "I'm a messenger of God." "Oh, what's he got to say? This is exciting." "I need 2 of all of your animals." "Uh-huh." "Carry on." "Well, there is to be 40 days and nights of rain." "Do you know you're in Scotland, Noah? We're on 55 at the moment. It's not a great prediction, is it?" See, I was thinking today, if I'd been Noah, I'd have been a lot more discerning about who got on that ark and who didn't. Wouldn't you? I mean, he had the chance to wipe out entire species of animals in that flood by just not letting them on the ark. If I'd been Noah and seen 2 rats coming up that plank, I'd have gone, and where do you think you're going? "Oh, we're going on the... Make myself laugh. Going on the ark, because... I've got an invite. Rat +1, that's that guy there. And you know, I don't give a shit what you've got. Piss off, eh? Take the mosquitoes with you. But our entire species will be wiped out in the flood. Yeah, boo fucking who? You're a rat. You should have thought about that before you killed half of Europe in the plague. Admittedly, not for another 1,400 years. Look, I'm a visionary. That's how I got this job, yeah? Give me a break. Oh, it must have been tough being Noah, all those animals coming on. You know, not knowing who's who. Neither do I. What are you? I don't know. Anteater? Anteater. Oh, okay, let's have a look. Anteaters. Yes, 2 anteaters. Oh, hang on. I need a word with you 2. Now, as you know, there's only 2 of everything on that ship. Don't look all innocent. If they go missing, I fucking know it's you 2, right? Nosy's clean, the pair of you. 2 anteaters sloping off. Nice going, dickhead, aye. The hell did you tell me we were anteaters for? Just call me a dickhead. Look at us. We're both dickheads. And so many animals look the same. How does Noah know who's been on the ark and who hasn't been on? The 2 things coming up there, you know. Hello there, Noah. Here we go. And Noah says, "Oh, I'm sorry. I've just put 2 of you guys on. It's a very strict door policy. It's only 2 of every animal." "Oh, no, those guys. No, they weren't us. They were moose. Eh? We're stag." Noah panics. Shit, oh, sorry, I didn't realise so many animals look the same but are different. On you go. Someone go and get the black and white horses. Tell them they can come back. Yeah. You know, it's one of my favourite biblical stories, old Noah's Ark. And you know one of the Bible stories that always confuses me is the Last Supper, because according to the book I read, the book you've all read, the Bible, Jesus stood up at the beginning of the meal. The beginning of the meal. And he announced to his disciples, he said, tomorrow, he said, one of you will betray me. Fucking bon appetit. I just can't help feeling after that, the meal must have got a wee bit awkward, you know, all the thing, you know, crikey, that was a bit of a bombshell, wasn't it, eh? Pass the potatoes. Who do you think it was? What? Who do you think betrayed, you know, Jesus? I don't know. Yeah, me neither. It's a nice new suit Judas has got on, isn't it? I imagine the Last Supper was quite an uncomfortable meal anyway, you know? You know, Jesus broke bread at the Last Supper and said, this is to represent the breaking of my bones. Poured red wine, said, this is to represent the spilling of my blood. I'm not a fussy eater, but I'd have probably gone, do you know, I'm not that hungry anymore. I sure as fuck ain't touching the meatballs. Sorry to anyone that's taken offence. You have to be pretty careful these days when you do a religious joke. I got a death threat last year. Yeah, first ever death threat. I say first ever. I'm not hoping for more, you know.
Oh, that's a shame. Pass the scissors and newspaper.
No, I did get a death threat, and well, because you accept that sometimes, you know, you say things that people aren't going to like, and you know, on this tour, in fact, I got a note backstage. I did a gig in Townsville, and this guy left a note in my dressing room that said, "You're going to hell." I thought, I'm in fucking Townsville, you know. What time does the bus leave? But it's a religious, I got this religious-related death threat. Because look, I'm not a religious person, right? But I have no problem with anyone that is religious. Live and let live and all that. And in fact, the only reason I'm not religious is probably because of church. No, seriously, let me explain. I just don't like all the paraphernalia of church. And do you remember when you were a kid, church hymns? What was all that about? People say, sing the church hymn, Danny. It's uplifting and rejoiceful. It'll bring you closer to the Lord. Are you sure? Have you read the lyrics here? The subtext of every single church hymn was always the same, that God is great and we are all shit. Didn't uplift me, that one. God is great and we are shit. God is great and we are shit. And God is great, but we are shit. That was the worst thing, wasn't it? Do you think the guy that wrote the music and the guy that wrote the lyrics ever collaborated on that? It's always that really uncomfortable moment where you got to the end of a verse and there'd just be one last bit of organ left. You go, shit, I've got 8 words to fit into that. And he came down from heaven to earth to save us all, 'cause he's great, we're shit. Organ player's going, this is all I've got, pal. Sorry, that's it. Sometimes it was the opposite problem, wasn't it? Remember that when you got to the end of the verse and there was just one last word left, but a huge bit of organ. And he is great. Organ player's loving it then, isn't he? I tell you what were fun when I was a kid. Christmas carols. Because remember when you sang them in school, there'd always be one group of kids that would sing way ahead of the rest. You only sang it once a year, so you didn't quite know how it went. There'd always be one group of kids sing way ahead of the rest and then have to repeat the last bit again. You go, away in a manger, no crib for a bed, for a bed. Difficult Christmas carol that anyway, wasn't it, Away in a Manger? Because remember, if you started too high in the first bit, you had nowhere to go. Away in a manger.
And then you'd overcompensate. So that's not going to happen to me again. That was embarrassing. So you go, the little Lord Jesus. But you didn't know it went down again after that. The little Lord Jesus. Oh dear. But anyways, yes, I would go to church if they just changed a few things. Put in an armchair, I'll go. I can't sit in a church pew for any length of time, can you? Who the hell designed that? 6 feet for your back, 2 inches for your arse. Who did you think was coming to church? Giraffes? You sit there, right, your legs cramped up against the pew in front. I've sat in church before, looked up at the guy nailed to the cross and thought, at least he gets to stretch his legs that thing. Yep, you guessed it, that's the gag I got the death threat for. It is a true story. I did get a death threat in a place called Bournemouth in England, and it's a very conservative, small sort of seaside town in England. But I came out the gig, and everyone had gone, and I was just walking back to my hotel, and this guy sort of appeared out the shadows. All the bad people appear out of shadows, don't they? He said, "Can I get an autograph?" I said, "Yeah, you can get an autograph." So I went outside, and he grabbed me by the shirt, and he pulled me right in towards him. I said, "Listen, mate, I don't know what you've heard, but it's just autographs I do." You could say he grabbed me with glee. And he said, "If you ever make religious jokes in Bournemouth again, I'll stab you in the neck. And that's a promise." As if he needed that bit at the end, you know? As if he goes, "Oh, I really stabbed me in the neck." Heard it, mate. Jesus, change the record. Oh, that's a promise. Oh, shit. Now, it's quite scary when that happens, and obviously you just have to react instinctively. And all I could think of when he said, "I'll stab you in the neck," and that's a promise, was, "Oh, not the neck." I like my neck. I use my neck. So I actually said to this guy, when he said that, I said, "Does it have to be the neck?" As if we could barter over my own death. It worked. He let go of me. He went, "You're weird." Wait, you forgot your autograph. It's weird when you're in those sort of confrontational situations, isn't it? Because you never quite know what to say. I had another sort of confrontation about 12 months ago in London. I was involved in a car crash. Well, it was my fault. Basically, I bumped into a guy's car in front, and it was a kid as well. It was like a 19, 20-year-old kid in this very flashy car with a hood down, 18 exhaust pipes, fucking blue neon lights in the undercarriage. What are you, driving or landing, you dick? And he's driving along. It's South London, so it was only like 25 miles an hour, and he's there, and he's, his music's, I don't like that. What the hell is? You hear that in every single pub or nightclub nowadays, don't you? Open the door. It sounds like a cat trying to be sick. That's what it sounds like. Tell you, when I walk into my living room, my cat's doing. I don't go. I shit myself. Fuck, shit, quick, get out of here. Open the door or the window. Hold on. Open that. Jesus Christ. Shit, that was close. And they're so sly cats as well, aren't they? Eh? Because 10 minutes later, a nice effeminate cat comes back, doesn't it? Meow. Oh, it's my cat. I love my cat. Open the door and the thing comes in, and you go, "Are you all right now?" "Uh-huh." "I'm all right." "Is that what you said?" What the fuck was all that about? Shutting me out like that. Smack my face on that dustbin. Did you know that was there? Fucking right into it. "I'm all right." Look at that. Grazed that on the wall, trying to get round, you see. You don't believe all that cats always land on their feet shit, do you? Look at that. I'm all right. I can't even lick that bit. I'm so sorry. I thought you were going to be sick. Oh, that's great. That's charming, that is. Would you do that to one of the kids if they were going to be sick? See, when dogs are sick, they don't make a big song and dance about it, do they? Dogs are almost apologetic when they're sick. Oh, God. I hope no one saw that. Oh, you did see it? Okay. Oh, no, don't clean it up. I'll lick it up. No, I'm happy to. I'll get some of that cat sick as well if it's going. Aye, oh, no, happy to. Anything to get the taste of my balls out my mouth. Anyways, right, where was I? Yes, so I had a car crash, right? I bumped into this 19-year-old kid driving his flashy car, hit into the back of him. Now, it was my fault. I wasn't really paying attention. I was judging distance from vibration alone, you know. And he must have gotten to change a CD or something, so I hit into the back of him. But there was no major damage. His fourth exhaust pipe fell off. Now, I got out of my car, right, ready to do the sensible thing and say, I'm very sorry about that, I'll pay for the damage. But the aggressive nature with which the confrontational nature with which this kid got out of his car, he gets out, his cap goes straight back, and he went, what's he doing? Like he'd just come out of a toilet where the hand dryer wasn't working. You know? I said, are you all right? What? Do I fucking look all right? No, you don't. We got to within about 10 feet of me. At this point, I thought, fuck, maybe I've genuinely disabled this bloke. I thought I didn't hit him that hard, did I? And then he got to like 2 feet of me, right? And he's... Didn't know any better. I'd think he'd been grain-fed. and he pushed me, this kid, right? Pushed me. And I went flying back against the bonnet of my car. And I got up, brushed myself down. And all the Scottish blood rose to my chest. And in the strongest brogue I could muster, I said, I'd like to see you try that again. And he did. He took it as less of a threat, more of an invitation. And he pushed me. And the second time he pushed me, I went back, but it was weird. Second time he pushed me, I yelled out a word I don't think I've yelled out for 20 years. I don't know where it came from. From the darkest recesses of my childhood. He pushed me in the middle of London, in the middle of the afternoon. I yelled out, "Man!" And it worked. He went, "Oh, yo, mum, I don't want no trouble, man." It was weird. It's a very powerful word, that. Very powerful. You know, do you remember when you were a kid, there was 3 different calls for your mum, and each one would tell her what level of panic you were at. Because Dad was, see, when you call for your dad, it's just one syllable. Dad, Dad, one syllable. Because it's a business call, isn't it? I've broken my bike. Dad. Mum, there's always more emotion in that call. I've pissed my bed. Mum! So it's got to go up. I've pissed my bed. Mum! You don't call Dad if you've pissed your bed. I've pissed my bed, Dad. Oh, what the fuck do you do that for? Where's your mum? Mum! You've got to call your mum. She knows what to do. She can handle it. But 3 different calls for your mum. Each one would tell her what level of panic you were at. First call. Mum! That's your first call. But if you don't hear back for any reason, well, that's got to get louder. And slightly quizzical, as in, I don't know why you haven't replied. First call, Mum! Second call, Mum! And then the third call, it's the whole nature of the call changes. It's a slight intonation change, but it says a whole new level of panic has opened up here. Because you shouldn't have to use the third call. I should have heard back by now. Listen to the third. Here you go. It's the first one. Mum! 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 You hear that? Very short. Mum! That says, where the hell are you? I'm 9. I can't do this on my own. Mum! And if you need it the fourth call, well, that's just anarchy. That's actually where the call becomes less of a call and more of a cry. Mum! Nothing. Mum! Still nothing. Mum! Still nothing. And eventually she'll call back. What is it? I can't find Dad. Folks, you've been an absolutely cracking audience. Thank you very, very much for coming along tonight. And I'll see you all again sometime. Thank you very much. Thanks, guys. See you next time. Thank you. Bye-bye.